Hello. This video is for anyone who has been diagnosed with peripheral neuropathy or who suspects they might have it and they haven't gotten a clear answer about it yet. It's also for people who have already tried medications, who've seen specialists, and who are still struggling and frustrated, because that is the story I hear too often in my clinic. Hi, I'm Dr. Rebecca Gibbons. I'm a licensed acupuncture physician here in Pensacola, Florida, and I've been taking care of patients for over 20 years. First as a registered nurse, and then the last 10 years as an acupuncture physician. So peripheral neuropathy is one of the conditions I treat most, and honestly, I have seen what a difference the right care can make. We've seen huge transformations in a lot of our patients. So let me explain first what is peripheral neuropathy. So your nervous system has two parts. There's the central nervous system, which is your brain, and then your spinal cord. And then there's the peripheral nervous system, which is every nerve that branches out from the brain and the spinal cord into the rest of your body. So that includes your hands, your feet, your legs, and your arms. The peripheral nerves are basically the messengers. They carry signals back and forth, telling your brain what you're feeling and telling your muscles how to move, when to activate, when to deactivate. So when those nerves get damaged for whatever reason, those signals get disrupted. And that's when you start to feel things like numbness or tingling or that burning sensation or sometimes sharp shooting pain. So some people describe it as feeling like they're walking on glass or wearing socks or even like walking on rocks, and they can never get rid of. And then that feeling might transform into another sensation. So others maybe start to lose their sensation completely, which is dangerous because you may not even notice an injury if you hurt your foot or your hands. So now what causes it? There are actually many causes. Diabetes is the most common diabetic neuropathy that affects a huge percentage of diabetic patients. Chemotherapy is another one. Autoimmune conditions, vitamin B12 deficiency, chronic inflammation, chronic infections, thyroid issues, and sometimes the cause is also unknown, which we call idiopathic neuropathy. And that's when we don't know many of the answers, and it's very frustrating for patients to hear. The most important thing, though, is to understand is that neuropathy is not a single condition with a single cause. It is a symptom of nerve damage, and the approach to treating it should reflect that complexity. Now, I want to be fair here. I spent over 2 decades as a registered nurse, and I have deep respect for conventional medicine. It is not that conventional treatment is bad. It's that for peripheral neuropathy specifically, the conventional toolkit is very limited. As you probably know, it's just medications or surgery. The most common prescribed medications, things like gabapentin or pregabalin or Lyrica, certain antidepressants, they are designed to manage the pain signal. They essentially turn down the volume of the discomfort that the brain recognizes. And for some patients that helps. And they do not address, but it does not address the underlying nerve damage. They aren't healing anything. They aren't making it quieter. And many patients find that over time they need higher and higher dosages to get the same effect. Or there's the side effects, the drowsiness, brain fog, weight gain, become a problem on top of the neuropathy. So the patient is left in this impossible situation. The medication helps enough that they don't want to stop it, but not enough that they feel like themselves. And nobody is asking, why is this happening? And can we actually do something about it? And so that's where we come in. So let me explain to you how we treat and how acupuncture helps. Acupuncture works on the nervous system directly. When we place needles in specific points, we are stimulating the body's own nervous system, triggering responses that reduce inflammation, improve blood circulation to damaged nerves, and activate the body's natural healing and repair processes. There is a growing body of research showing that acupuncture can help slow the progression of nerve damage and reduce the pain and burning associated with neuropathy. And in many cases, it supports actual nerve regeneration, meaning the nerves themselves begin to heal. Now, I want to be honest with you. Acupuncture is not a magic wand, and I will never tell a patient that we can fix you 100%. How much improvement someone experiences depends on several factors. How long they've had neuropathy, what caused it, how much nerve damage has already occurred, and what else is going on in their health picture. Which is why every patient I see gets a full health history review and a treatment plan that is specific to them. What I can tell you is that I do not do a one-size-fits-all medicine. The plan that we create for our neuropathy patients, for say a 60-year-old diabetic patient, is going to look different than a 45-year-old who developed neuropathy from chemo. Different points, different frequency, different adjunct therapies. Your history matters. In addition to acupuncture itself, we may incorporate things like electroacupuncture, which adds gentle electrical stimulation to the needles, and it shows particularly strong results for nerve conditions. So we also incorporate nutritional guidance because deficiencies like B12 play a huge role, and certain lifestyle recommendations to support the healing process. The goal is not to manage your symptoms forever. The goal is to get to the root of what is happening and support your body in actual healing. Now, I want to talk about expectations for a moment because I think honesty here is really important. You've been told a gazillion different things and you probably just want to hear truth. Most patients do not feel dramatically different after one session. Neuropathy has been developing for months or years by the time someone usually comes in to see me, and healing takes time. What I typically see is a gradual progression after a few weeks of consistent treatment. Patients start noticing that the burning is a little less intense at night. They're sleeping better. The numbness is beginning to change, sometimes into tingling, which actually signals the nerves are starting to wake up. That's a great thing. After a full course of treatment, which I usually recommend as weekly sessions for the first several weeks, patients often report significant improvement in their pain levels, their sleep, their ability to walk and balance, and their overall quality of life. Some patients are able to reduce their medications in coordination with their prescribing physician. Some go from barely being able to walk to getting back to activities that they'd been given up on. The patients who do best are the ones who commit to the process and who are honest with me about everything: their diet, their stress levels, their medications, what's working and what isn't. This is a partnership. I bring the expertise, you bring the commitment. And together we figure out what your body really needs, and we adjust the treatments for that. So, if you are dealing with peripheral neuropathy, or if someone you love is, and you've been told just to manage it, or you're just going to have to live with it, or that there's nothing more that they can do, I want you to know that I hear that frustration, and I see it in my clinic almost every day. And I want you to know that there is more that can be done. You deserve more than just managing it. So if you're in the Pensacola or Gulf Coast area and you'd like to come in for a consultation, and we'll go through a full health history, and I'll go through what a treatment plan will look like, give us a call. The link is down below, and our phone number is 850-530-1028, or you can visit our website at awpensacola.com. So subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next video, and we'll talk more about neuropathy and then other conditions that we treat as well. Have a great day. Bye.